Hi everyone. We all know that tech space is saturated right now and there are not a lot of exciting things going on. But there is one question that people are asking me for a really long time, that which are the TWS that works great for iPhone. I mean, they don't want to spend for AirPods because we all know they are really expensive. They do provide that seamless connectivity between Apple devices, but let's suppose you don't have all the Apple devices. Maybe you're using an Android phone, but you're using a Mac. So this thing does not work. Even the same case with Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. I mean, they work in great with Samsung ecosystem, maybe with Windows, but let's suppose you have an Apple device or some other phone like Google Pixel, the same problem there. So you want something that works seamlessly between multiple devices, and we all know about multi-point, but the problem is there are not a lot of cheaper headphones that can actually give you multi-point. I mean, at least in a cheaper price. And also the problem with AirPods and Galaxy Buds that if you want to maximize all of these features, you need to have an Apple device or a Samsung device. Like you cannot use the spatial audio without an Apple iPhone or iPad or even Mac. And for the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, you need to have a Samsung phone to get that high-res audio. So maybe you might find a TWS that might sound better, have better microphones or ANC, but getting all of that together in one device, it's really, really hard. There are some brands like Oppo, OnePlus, or even Nothing that provide high-res audio in cheaper price, but they are using LHDC, not LDAC, which is not very commonly supported. So that's another problem. If you're using a phone that does not support LHDC, that's another problem for you guys. I think that's where the brands like Sony, Sennheiser, or even JBL comes in the picture. I mean, they're working in the sound department for a really long time. For Sony, they have been working with ANC for such a long time and they have improved it so much that it's really hard to tell whether the ANC is on. Not because they cannot reduce the sound, but you don't get that sort of headache nowadays with the best ANC headphone that you used to get before. So the mic placement and everything is really great with Sony. I mean, you can see the XM5 are one of the best headphones you can buy in the world right now. And I think because of that, these Sony linkbud S got overshadowed. I mean, these are very great pair of TWS, which you can get for a very cheaper price. They support high res like LDAC and they support multi connectivity. You can also use them with iPhone. They have a proper application support that you don't have to worry about which platform you're using. But like any other TWS earphones, they are not perfect. So let's talk about what I like and dislike about them. So the biggest USP of these earphones over XM4 is going to be the fit and comfort. So after they're launched, I mean, a lot of people were raving about how lightweight they are, how comfortable they are for long period of use. And I can say that totally depends. See, in my case, the fit has been a hit or miss. So the medium ear tip they come with, it's kind of loose, so they don't give me that ANC. They're comfortable. I can wear them for a long time, but the fit is not as great. When I use the large ear tips, the fit is great. The ANC works great, but the problem is I feel something is there in my ear. So, like I said, it totally depends. So, if you want to buy them, I think you should go and definitely try them first so that you can see like how they fit you. They're quite small and portable, and that's what I like about them. I really like this matte finish. The only thing I can complain about is going to be this flimsy lid. So you can hear this plastic creaking. The magnets are also quite powerful, but they snap very easily. So sometimes I feel like whenever I'm taking that out, they automatically just close. But I like the magnets, they just don't fall out. So overall, I like the design. The click is really satisfying, but I think they could have done better with the lid itself. They're also IPX4 rated, so you can wear them in the gym, but nothing more than that. One thing that some people like and some people don't, that is going to be the touch control or earphones. I like AirPod stem control over touch control because they don't hurt my ear when I'm pressing them. Tapping pokes earphone in my ear and sometimes they loosen the fit, and you have to keep adjusting them even when you're working out. But otherwise, the touch controls work great. They are sensitive and responsive. Now, that is true that you do not get the volume control in many of the TWS out there, but after using them on my AirPods, I think I really miss them. See, if you have a smartwatch, you can control that with your smartwatch, but that's not the point. I mean, having that feature is great. I mean, if you go in the app, you can actually change the control to volume, but the problem is you have to choose between the playback control, ambient sound, and the sound volume control itself. So you can have only two between them, and on my right side it's going to be play and pause, and on the left side is the ambient sound. Sony could have actually added that feature where you can control them with double tap and triple tap, but those double tap and triple tap are limited to Spotify or maybe some other application, so you can't do that. Apart from that, you can customize sound, enable multi-point, prioritize sound quality, use spatial audio or even 360 audio. You have mostly every feature you get from their latest headphone, and that's a great thing. Even the in-ear detection is available, so when you remove your true wireless earphone, they just stop playing, and I think it's a really good feature when you're trying to talk to someone. You also get that equalizer setting in the app, but I will come to that later. First, let's talk about the two main reasons why I got this over those Oppo, OnePlus, or even nothing. So the first is multi-point connectivity and the second is LDAC. Yes, you can get multi-point in many of them as well, but they do not support LDAC. So multi-point was clearly great. I mean, I'm using it with my S23 and Mac and they work perfectly fine. The best part is you can use that LDAC with multi-point, which is also missing in XM5. So that's a great feature. So you can actually listen to high-res music. I mean, if you're using Apple Music with lossless audio, it actually makes a huge difference. And even though they are not the best sounding TWS out there, you can actually see the difference of that high-res music, which is kind of missing in those earphones because they support LHDC and none of my phone supports that. I mean, iPhone just support AAC, so like I can't say anything about it. If I just talk about the sound quality, I think the sound is really balanced for me. I'm not someone who listen to a lot of rock or EDM. I'm someone who likes to listen to classical music or very slow sort of music. So they're really balanced. The bass is good. It's not very high. I do not like a lot of bass and sometimes I have to reduce it. And the mids are really good. I mean, if you're looking for like high treble sort of volume, I think they do not do the separation really well, but in the mid they really shine. So for my use case, they are really good, and for the price I think they are one of the best I've heard in this segment. Like I mentioned, you have equalizer setting in the application so you can tune them the way you want. I wouldn't rely on it because it does not make huge difference because they're very tiny earphones, but if you want to tweak the treble or bass a little bit, you can do that from the application itself. The ANC on these headphones are one of the best I've used on TWS. They're still behind AirPods Pro, Sony XM4 and even Bose, but by a very small margin. And I think the same goes with ambient sound. This ambient sound is actually really good. Sometimes you might hear your sound funny, but the outside sound is like really good. So I think you can use the ambient sound on this. There are two things that actually disappointed me on these true wireless earphones. One, I was actually expecting that, and that was the battery life. The second thing was the microphone, which I was not expecting because I've heard a great reviews about this, and this is the best sounding microphones from Sony itself. And I have heard a lot of reviews, but when I used them, I was kind of disappointed. But let's talk about the battery first and then I'll give you the mic samples. So the battery on these true wireless earphones lasts you about 4 when you're using with LDAC and 5 hours without the LDAC, but this is with ANC on. And the charging kits can best like charge your true wireless earphones 2 or 2.5 times. So I would say you can mostly get around 15 and maximum to 18 hours depending upon how you use them, which in the current standard is not really great. Although the charging speed is really fast. I mean, you can charge it for 5 minutes and you can get 1 hour of playback, but I will still think the battery life is not great. Also, they miss wireless charging, so that's another thing you need to think about. Now you're listening from Sony linkbud S, and I'm very quiet room right now so you can see the sound quality. I actually called my friend to test this out, and the first thing he said, my sound is very echoey, or maybe I'm in a bathroom when I'm talking to him, so it's kind of repeating. I think it could be because of the microphone placement, so you can avoid a lot of wind noise, but I think that has affected the audio quality a lot. So it is kind of okay. I mean, it can work out for you maybe for some calls, but I wouldn't buy them just because of calls. So those were my thoughts on linkbud S. I don't think they're perfect, but I think they're very well balanced in every department. I think this is a great ANC in this price. You get a great sound quality if you're someone who likes to listen to a very nice sort of music, if you don't want a lot of bass. They are good for mic quality as well. If you're in a very quiet environment and just doing a normal call, I might not recommend them just for calls, but overall package, these are really great. And for the price, I got them around 10,000 rupees, which is $125. And for that $100 mark, I think these are the best true wireless earphones you can get, which can work on both of the platforms because you get all the features and in iOS and Android itself. So let me know if you've used them and what was your experience. And if you have any sort of question, you can ask me here in the comment box or you can just follow me on Twitter. My name is Rohit. I'll see you next one. Till then.